So today I have a rather ambitious day planned for myself, and I have a 3-day weekend, which I don't often get. Monday is a holiday. I have no plans to go anywhere or do anything aside from like stuff in town, but no plans for vacation or anything like that. And I'm so grateful for a 3-day weekend because I need a little extra time off right now. I just also want more time to relax and actually do some of my hobbies. I haven't been making as much time to practice piano or read as I would have liked to. And then of course I have just like the normal stuff to do that you do in the evenings and on your days off, like laundry, cleaning house, decluttering, things like that. And I was wondering, does anybody else do the same thing? Like you have finally some time off where you could just sit and put your feet up if you wanted to, but instead you make yourself an elaborate to-do list of things that you want to get done. And of course, they're things I enjoy, otherwise I wouldn't be making myself do them. I definitely wanted to make a video this weekend for you guys, at least make one video. I want to go through some antique and vintage jewelry finds that I recently found this week from like estate sales and just like garage sale type things and Facebook Marketplace and just people like downsizing, and go through and see if we can find anything that's of any value and tell you guys what I think is good and what I think is not great. Not that I'm an expert, but it's kind of becoming a little hobby of mine. And I also need to like just clean and organize and declutter in general. And then I also want to go to Market Square and buy some vegetables from the local Hutterites and stuff. And I also want to go to the thrift store, just drink a coffee, walk around. And I also want to go to a coffee shop and do some reading. And I also want to edit this video. And I also wanted to declutter my shoes. And I also wanted to declutter my lip liners. And I also have to wash my hair and put away laundry and stuff. So yeah, a very ambitious day, but I'm hoping that today I will get done like majority of what I need to get done so that I can actually take the next couple days and just actually do my other hobbies. So I have the whole house to myself, just me and my dog. Nobody else is at home except me and him, and that's exactly what I needed for this weekend. I just needed a quiet weekend where I was just by myself in the house. I needed some me time. So as you can see, I have coffee here in front of me, and I have a jewelry box that I got for $5 along with a bunch of jewelry that this woman was trying to get rid of. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's vintage and antique jewelry. So this is the dresser situation, obviously. This is a little jewelry box that this girl was selling, a whole bunch of jewelry that some of it belonged to her, some of it was gifts from her children, a couple pieces belonged to her mother, and then I ordered some things from Poshmark. And anyway, the woman who stopped by my house to let me sort through her jewelry, which it turns out there's a lot of people who are doing that. There's a lot of people who are very willing to come to your house with all their jewels for you to look through them. I had a girl come to my workplace the other day and let me come out to the parking lot and look. And then, yeah, like I said, a girl came into town and just literally came to my house and let me sort through her jewelry. And they were selling them for dirt cheap, like between $10 and $15 per item or per set. And what I have found is that a lot of times people don't know what they're selling you, because I literally, you guys, found what I think is like at least a $200 necklace for $5. I think it is. I don't know 100% for sure. I'm going to order some supplies because this is becoming a bit of a fun little hobby for me, and it could also be like a good business if you find cheap things and then sell them, right? But I'm not kind of thinking about that at this point in time, but I really just for my own interest want a gem identifier. There's a few different ones online, but I want to take my time before I pick that. But I did order a black light, and I'm going to try doing a black light test later today with my pearls, because I want to see if any of the pearl things I've acquired are real. But yeah, so anyway, it's a really beautiful little jewelry box. I quite like it. I kind of wish it was a wind-up, like a music jewelry box. I did order a couple things from Poshmark that are coming. Something I'm kind of looking for is a musical jewelry box, like a wind-up musical one. I would love that, but anyways, I think I also got like a couple more things. I think there's like a couple new things in there in that jar that I got from Poshmark, and then I think also in the closet perhaps. So I'm going to pull everything out and we're going to go through anything that's new. And this in itself will be a very long video. So hopefully, I know some people prefer short videos. I personally like long videos, especially if I'm watching it at night or while I'm just driving somewhere and I'm just listening to it, or cleaning the house or whatever. I don't like it when videos are done in like 10 minutes. So you're probably going to get a long one today. All right, so I just kind of moved my makeup bag off of the top of the dresser, and I laid out some of the pieces that I got from Poshmark, and then the jewelry box is full, you guys. And I didn't pay much for this stuff. Like, I would say most things were $3 to $5, and I paid $15 for a couple of sets, and like maybe 15 to 20 for a couple of brooches. And then the only thing about Poshmark that's kind of crappy is you can get the brooch or whatever, the earrings, for like $25, $30, but then the shipping is $12. And so it ends up being a more expensive purchase. So going forward, I'm not going to do Poshmark as much. I'm going to try to avoid Poshmark. It's very easy for me to just click an order on Poshmark, and I end up sometimes getting things I'm disappointed with. I would rather, now that I'm starting to learn a little bit more of what I'm looking for and be able to differentiate between high quality versus lower quality items, I think what I want to do is just go to thrift stores, because that's where you tend to find these little treasures that people don't really, they had no idea what they were getting rid of or whatever. And sometimes you can find some really cool things that people didn't know were worth anything. And yeah, that, and also like people on Facebook Marketplace getting rid of stuff. I found that, and I almost feel guilty because I'm like, the other day I knew I was buying a real gold item and she charged me $5, and I kind of felt bad, and I almost wanted to tell her, like, you know, this is worth more than that. And now I'm feeling kind of guilty, like I should have done that. But also, like, if you're at a thrift store and that happens, do you tell the thrift owners, hey, by the way, this is actually worth like $300? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm starting to feel a little guilty, but you guys tell me what you think. I think that's part of the game though, right? Like, it's part of the thrill, is like finding stuff for super cheap that turns out to be sort of a treasure. Anyway, so that's that. So what do we start out with? I think let's start out with the stuff that's sitting on top of the dresser. And there is a pair of earrings here that I've already talked about before, but I want to show them again because I've learned a couple other things since I got them. All right, so first off, let's just start. Okay. So this here is a brooch, obviously. This one I found on Poshmark, and I think it was advertised as being a vintage or an antique filigree brooch. And I should have done some research, but what I understand about filigree is I think it's like just intricate, very fine, detailed jewelry is what I'm understanding, or that seems to be the theme that I see in all things that are advertised as filigree. So I don't know for sure, maybe I should look it up. So it is this like brown toned metal, and then it has a blue gem in the middle. It is closed on the back, and I don't know if, like, I know that typically if things are open on the back, it's because they want the light to shine through and they want to show the brilliance of the rock or the stone. This one's closed, but I don't know if that necessarily means that it isn't anything. I think it's just like glass. I honestly think it's just like a green glass or something. And then it has this beautiful, like really intricate design that you can see. And then the back, I can tell that it is a little older because it does have the C closure on it, the C clasp. So it doesn't have a safety clasp. And it is a rather long pin. And then, yeah, it has the C closure instead of the safety closure. So that typically usually indicates it's a little older. Unless it's like, I'm sure people are duping them and doing imitation ones. But this one looks like it needs to be cleaned. I have no idea like what it's made of. I just thought it was really stunning and looked old and interesting. And that is why I picked it up. So that's a really neat one. Again, I don't really know the value of it, but that one's really nice. These ones I'm kind of disappointed because this one I actually got from the same lady who sold me my china cabinet, and I realized that I already had another one that I found on Poshmark that was already in the mail, and that tells me that it's probably mass produced and not very expensive, because what are the odds that I found two of the exact same one like within days of each other online, right? So they're obviously the exact same item, and this to me seems like a mass produced cheaper thing. Obviously they're identical, so they're not hand carved, they're just stuck on there. I don't know if it's like a resin mold or just plastic. It's not cold to touch. And then the back is open. And then this one here, they both can be worn as a pendant or they can be worn as brooches. And as you can see, the one on the left, the one that I found on Poshmark came with a chain, and the one on the right did not. But so I think I'm going to keep this one because it is pretty, and I actually really like it. Like, I liked it the moment I saw it. I think it's beautiful. Not very valuable though, I don't think, but still very beautiful. And I think I'm going to keep this one because it's in better shape, whereas the one on the right has a little discoloration to it. So this one I'm going to probably donate or whatever. I don't even know if it's worth reselling, but so this one I'm going to keep. The next one, now this one also came with the blue one from the lady who sold me my china cabinet. And I wish I would have inspected. I was kind of a little trigger happy with my purchases at the time because I knew that she owned an antique store. So pretty much everything she showed me, I was like, oh, that's nice. I'll take it. You know, that's how I felt. And I wish I would have just taken my time with a little bit more. But this is obviously not hand carved. It's like glued on there. It's a pretty little cameo brooch. It doesn't have any metal or anything. And then the bottom is obviously glued on there. And it just doesn't look very expensive or super nice. And then it has like the safety closure, so it's not even old. So it's just kind of like a, sort of like a meh piece. It's pretty, but I wish I wouldn't have paid for it because I think I got both of them for $30, and I think she made a profit off of me, obviously. So I don't really know what to do with this one. Like, it's pretty, but I don't know what to do with it, so kind of wish I wouldn't have got that one. It's not very special to me at all. And like I told you guys in other videos, the purpose of me wanting to get some of these things, aside from like, it's kind of a fun little hobby and I kind of like hunting for and finding nice little treasures, is I want them to be something I would either actually use, or it's like super interesting and special to me and really neat, and I want to keep it for myself. If I don't find any sort of value in it, or I wouldn't wear it myself, I don't want it. I'm not interested in becoming a hoarder. I just want to have like a nice little collection of some antique jewelry. And something I've shared with a few other people, and I think I've talked about it on this channel as well, is that I think part of the reason I'm getting really into antique stuff is because it's reminding me of my childhood, and specifically of my grandma and my grandma's house and her acreage. When, I think I told you guys, when my grandma and grandpa passed away and their estate and everything was sold, my brother and I were not privy to the process, really. We were not involved in sorting through their stuff or figuring out where it was going to go. And there was a lot of things that I would have asked if I could have it, or I would have asked my grandma back in the day. I was very young though when she passed, but I would have asked her, like, Grandma, can I have some of your jewelry? Or, I would have wanted certain sweaters of her, just anything that was hers that was special. Grandma, obviously had a lot of beautiful things, and yeah, it's special to have family heirlooms like that. And my brother and I weren't really privy to being able to choose anything. And so I think part of my soul is like searching for grandma's things. Isn't that strange? But I like to fantasize that perhaps one of her things will land in my lap somehow, just by a serendipitous circumstance, that, actually it would be smart of me to go back to her hometown and go to thrift shops, because if they're going to end up in thrift shops, they're going to end up there. So, but yeah, anyway, she had beautiful things and she didn't have cheap things. So I don't think they're going to end up just in a thrift shop. But anyway, let's carry on here. So this one here is one that I got on Poshmark, and this is a very beautiful piece. It is old and it's imperfect. I don't know much about it. I'm not sure if it's hand carved. If you look really closely, you can see little imperfections on the cameo piece. It's not perfect, and that leads me to think maybe it is hand carved. I don't know for sure though. If it is hand carved, it's also more special because it's a left facing cameo, and left facing cameos are less common than right facing ones. It is really beautiful, and it isn't perfect. So that leads me to think maybe it is, an authentic hand carved piece. I don't know for sure. And then the way it's sat in there as well is not perfect. Excuse, I've got pen on my hand already from today. It's sat in there not perfectly. These are just, I think, cheap rhinestones, obviously. And then there is no mark. And that's a little bit of glue there. So this was glued on. And then it does have an older latch on it. It does have an older latch, so it doesn't have the safety latch on it. It has like a charm to it. It has like an older charm. I just think it is so pretty and so nice, and I really like this one actually. So I would love to get it like authenticated and see, is it actually hand carved, or there are little imperfections, but I don't know for sure. So anyway, it's very nice. This one here, where did I find this one? I don't know if I showed you guys this one already or not. I think I got this one, oh, I got this one from a local thrift store. I think I might have shared this with you in another video, actually my last video. But anyway, it's just a really beautiful little brooch. I think I paid $2.50 for it. It does have to have a safety latch on the back, and I haven't researched it. I should research it, but on the back it says Camco, copyright Camco, and then on the bottom it says God's love is with you always. So it's got a nice little inscription on the back, and it's just a beautiful, old, pretty, antique-looking brooch, and I just think it is adorable, and I really like it. So I should look up Camco and see what that is all about. This one here, I absolutely love this one. This is a beautiful rose, what I think is hand-painted, and I believe it to be vintage, but I don't know if it's antique or not. It does have the open back, and it looks like, I think it's hand-painted porcelain, I want to say, or ceramic maybe, I'm not sure. And then it feels very heavy, and it feels really nice in my hand, and it has the safety catch on it, so I think it's just vintage but not antique. I want to say this is maybe like 70s, I think, which is still pretty cool because it is 2025, so that makes this over 50 years old. So I like things that are over 50 years old. I like things that are before the 80s, preferably before even the 50s. And then my dream would be to find a beautiful piece from like the 1750s or the early 1800s. That would be very, very cool. That's kind of what I'm hoping to find one of these days. But this is very pretty. It looks old. It looks hand painted. And it's just gorgeous. I love the detail. I have no idea what it's set in or what it's made of. I don't know what the value is. I didn't pay a ton for it, but it's definitely one of the prettier pieces. It looks just like a perfect little picture, doesn't it? So, and I also love that the back is open, and that you can really see the detail on, and you can even feel the detail. It's a little rougher, and it's just so pretty. So yeah, I love this one. This is a favorite find as of late. This one here is pretty old, and I don't know how much it's worth. But this one is older and it's more interesting. So this is a brooch that I got not because of its beauty so much, because I don't think it's that beautiful. It does have some discoloration. It looks like it needs to be cleaned. I don't know how they sat these rhinestones in there, but some of them are a little dark. And so I think they were maybe glued in, although, well, I don't know if they're glued, because they do have the little, what do you call it? I don't know what you call those, but they do have the little clasps around the rock, so they hold the rock in like this, as opposed to, maybe they're not glued in, but some of them are kind of dirty. I would love to shine this up and get it cleaned and see what it looks like once you shine it up. It's hollow on the inside, so they're sat above on like a metal, whatever the metal is that's holding it. A whole bunch of tiny little stones that I have no idea what they are. Maybe they're just cheap rhinestones. This is what the back looks like. I would be so interested to find out exactly what this is made of, and also the exact date, because I think it's not that pretty of a piece, but it's very interesting, and it's obviously very old. It's got this really discolored metal back here, and it like bubbles up, so it's hollow, very interesting. And then it has the C clasp, or the C latch, so it's got that kind of a closure on it, and the pin itself is quite long. The pin itself comes out further than the article, which I understand makes it maybe Victorian, maybe late 1800s. From what I understand, these brooches, they would have very, very long pins because their garments were thicker, and they needed longer pins to get through the fabric. And so back in the day, they had much longer pins. And then of course it does not have a modern safety latch. Looking closely at it, I don't see any markings. I've gotten in the habit of inspecting things for markings, and I do not see I don't see any marking. It's very tarnished, and I just would be really, really curious to know the age of this and what it's made of. And now that I'm thinking maybe those aren't glued in, they're individually held in. It's also not missing any stones. So whatever this is, it's in quite good shape, but I need to learn how to clean. Maybe that'll be also another thing I'll add to my to-do list today, is learn how to clean antique jewelry without wrecking it. And I would love to shine this baby up and see what it looks like, because if that's not glue, if it's just old discoloration, then, you know, it could be more valuable than I think it is. I don't know. I have no idea. So anyway, that one's pretty cool. I didn't pay a lot for this one, but this one just jumped out at me immediately because it looked so old, and that was my sole purpose for getting it. I was like, maybe this is something special. I don't know. These here are really beautiful. I absolutely love them. They are a pair of cameo earrings. These ones are hand carved. They have a lot of imperfections. They are not perfect. You can see the little carving marks. Very, very beautiful. The backs are opened. These are I think these are antique hand-carved cameo earrings. I don't know what the gold material, or what the metal material is. They are screwback. Screwback was very common in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and so being that they're hand-carved and they're old, I would really be interested to know what this is made of as well. But they're just stunning, aren't they? I don't know if I would wear these because I've tried putting the screw-on earrings on. These are light, like they're not light. They're heavy for what they are, but they're not a large earring. So they're not uncomfortable, but some of the clip-on and screw-back earrings are not very comfortable. I definitely prefer a modern style pierced earring to wear, but these are so pretty. They're definitely something I would wear. And look how like authentic and beautiful they look. I mean, these are just very, very pretty. These are one of my favorite finds. The fact that it's hand carved and the detail is so small, I'm just wondering, like, I don't know how much these are worth, but I didn't pay a ton for these. And I feel like they're probably worth more than I paid. So maybe somebody just really wanted to sell them. I don't know. Now this one came in a really pretty a box. I don't think it's the box that it was meant to come with. I think she just put it in here just for safe travels. And this is the beautiful piece. This is absolutely stunning. So this is a hand painted, I'm not sure what it is. The back is not open. Oh, there's actually a marking on the back. I think it says Coventry. Okay, so this would be a Sarah Coventry then. Look at me, I'm learning my things. So this is a Sarah Coventry piece then. And to my understanding, Sarah Coventry is a good brand, like a very nice brand, but not a fine jewelry, super expensive brand, but still really nice stuff. I actually own a couple of Sarah Coventry pieces now. And I like that it's got a maker's mark on it. So, and this is just absolutely beautiful. So I love that it's like a well-made item. And I love that it's got the beautiful hand painting, and it's just so stunning. It's so pretty. I absolutely love the detail. I love the colors. Like, these are some of my favorite colors for anything. I love the muted tones of the greens and the pink. And it's got this beautiful like rope detail going around, and it has a safety closure. So, and you can wear this one as a pendant as well. It has the top, you can wear it as a pendant. So that is really beautiful. I'm really happy with that piece. So yeah, this one's probably my least favorite out of all the ones I just showed you, because I'm pretty sure this is the most mass-produced and cheap feeling, and honestly, like, I don't even know if there's any point in me keeping it. I'm gonna keep it just till I do a little more research on it and figure out like more about it, but it definitely doesn't have an expensive feel, that's for sure. The other ones feel much nicer. And then I wanted to show you guys this pair of earrings again, because these I showed you in a video a couple of videos ago. This is a very beautiful pair of earrings set in a gold colored metal. They are quite heavy for their size. They have a nice weight to them. They have this beautiful reflective stone that I don't know what that is. The backs are open. And one thing I've learned since getting these is that if the backs are open on pieces, it's usually because they want the light to shine through, because they want to showcase the beauty of the gem. The backs are also open underneath the little clear stones. So whatever those little clear stones are, they wanted the light to shine through. And so I have no idea. I bought these from a Value Village. So I don't know if these are authentic, but if they were, that would be very cool, because then they'd be worth a lot. And they're really, really stunning. Like, they're so pretty. They're something I would wear anyway. They just jumped out at me, and I really want to identify the stones in here and see what they're made of. So anyways, I have high hopes for that. They could be nothing for all I know, but they could be something special. So those are the first few items. Now we have to get into the jewelry box. The jewelry box is full, and there are some things in here that I just think are very pretty and I like, and there's some things that I feel like might be worth a little bit more, but I don't know for sure. I've been doing a little bit of research, but I haven't had a lot of time in the evenings to do research on some of these things, but it's amazing what a reverse Google search will tell you. Okay, so let's start out with the bottom drawer. The bottom drawer has stuff that I think is very pretty, that I like, but I don't really know how valuable it is. Some of these things might be more valuable than others, and I will probably resell or rehome some of these, but I wanted to share them with you guys before I did that. So some of them were Poshmark finds that at the time I was like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And then knowing what I know now, and after getting them, I'm like, oh, it's mass produced, or it's cheaper, or it's not worth anything, or not as special as I thought it was. Let's just start at the top. All right, so this here is obviously a very beautiful piece. It is stunning. I love the colors. However, I realized after getting it that this pattern, this particular cameo, is extremely popular, and I have seen it now on multiple different brooches of all different colors. So wherever this mold came from, it's a very popular mold and is not very special, but it is still nonetheless a beautiful piece. It's kind of like a navy blue off black, and then it's set on a buttercream background, and then this beautiful, like, old looking kind of brassy gold material. It does have an older, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is valuable, I don't know. It's got the older C closure, so it doesn't have the safety latch on it, and you can wear it as a pendant. I have no idea. I don't know if, like, this is really old and really great, and maybe it was just really popular and that's why there's so many of these different molds. I don't know, but it is pretty, and it does have an old clasp on it, so maybe it is older than I think. But just to show you, I have two of the exact same molds in the exact same color. They're exactly the same. They're identical to the one I just showed you, but they're different colors, which again leads me to believe that it's just a mass-produced, therefore not very special, not very valuable thing. But aren't they stunning? I mean, these are pretty. These are very, very pretty. I didn't realize I had ordered two that were so similar. I was just kind of trigger happy on Poshmark, like I said. So same color, white on a pink background, same type of material, same C latch, no markings, no maker's mark or anything like that. And then this beautiful, like, old looking brass tone kind of detail for the metal, the little rope around the edge. This one's quite pretty. I really like the detail on this one. This one has a very antique feel to me, but they're obviously just clones of each other with different styles of metal. And for all I know, these are from Temu, you guys. Like, for all I know, they're from Temu. I got them from Poshmark, but somebody could have just purchased these from Shein or Temu and resold them to me for 10 times as much, and, you know. So yeah, but aren't they stunning? So anyways, they're really pretty. I would still wear these. I would 100%. And they're heavy. They feel nice. So, and they feel well made. So, you know, I would still wear them. Okay. This one here, this one is really beautiful, and I have a hunch that this one is a little more special and maybe a little more valuable than some of the ones I told you about. I did look it up, and I believe it. There are others like it, but not exactly like it. So this particular pattern is not mass produced, but this particular style is popular, and there's a few of them out there, but they're all like a little different and unique, which tells me I think it is really hand painted and that it's not just a mass produced cheap piece of plastic. So this is quite heavy as well. And I think this is hand-painted porcelain. And I think these are little forget-me-not flowers. Aren't they beautiful? If you reverse Google search this image, you will see lots more like this out there on eBay and Etsy and Poshmark and stuff. But none of them are exactly alike. So they are unique. So I think they are hand-painted from whatever company. And it is not glued in. You can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear that. You can hear it sliding around in there. It's held in there with the little prongs. It's not glued on. And then the back is this beautiful, old looking, kind of tarnished, you know, it's reminding me a bit of this material, whatever it is. But anyway, just stunning. And it does have the old curved C latch as well, the C clasp, not the safety. So I'm pretty sure that this is like 60s or 70s, but I think it's 60s, and hand painted, very beautiful. I love this one. This is so pretty. Love the colors. This is beautiful. I'm just in love with this one for sure. It definitely feels more special than some of the other ones. All right, this feels like another possibly Temu special. It came from the same person who sold me these ones, and it's made from the same material, and it's got the same type of closure on the back, and it feels exactly the same. Like the metal feels exactly the same. And it is a picture encased in glass, and it's interesting because when you turn it, it sort of shape shifts a little bit, but it's just like a bubbled up, you know, glass. It is heavy. It doesn't feel like plastic. So at least it's like a higher quality material, I guess, but isn't it pretty? I just thought it was really pretty, but I don't think it's worth very much. But I would like, if somebody knows, I would like somebody to tell me, like, I'm gonna have to do a reverse Google search on this. Actually, I haven't done that yet. I should reverse Google search this exact picture as well, because I'm sure I would probably like be making fun of myself if they're like Shein brooches, but anyways. And then this one as well, same. This one came from the same girl who sold me all the other ones. Same type of material. You can see it's the same type of metal, same color, same backing, same closure. Can wear it as a brooch. But isn't it pretty? I just thought it was beautiful. If this was a real hand-carved antique or vintage brooch, it would be worth a lot, I think, and it would be very special. It's still super, super pretty, but obviously a very perfect cameo with no flaws and no markings to show that it's hand-carved or anything like that. But it is heavy. It has a nice weight to it. Like all of them have a nice weight to them. And I just love this off-white color set on the pretty brass background. I mean, it's pretty. It's extremely beautiful. So even though it might not be very special or very expensive, it's extremely beautiful, and I would 100% wear this. So I really like this one actually, even though I don't think it's that special. It is one of my more favorite pieces. All right, so this one I think is a little bit more special, and I don't know how expensive it would be or what it's worth, but this one is definitely a little more special. You can tell just by looking at it that it's more unique, it's more old. Couple things. So number one, when I did a reverse Google search, it told me that this was an Italian mosaic brooch. So all of those little things in there, all of those little details are individually placed reflective pieces of, I guess, glass. I'm not sure. But they do reflect light. This does need to be cleaned. It's a little old. And then it has these really teeny tiny details of little flowers. Can you see that? Little flowers. And there's even a little rope detail, like a very finely detailed little rope going around the entire thing. And then the back, of course, we have the old C closure, no safety closure. This is actually a curved, rounded C closure. And then it also has a very long pin, which comes out, it extends past the side of the brooch, which tells me it's old. So if I had to guess, if I had to bet, if you asked me what year, like when this was made, I would guess this was late 1800s Italian mosaic. So it's antique, an antique Italian mosaic brooch. And I didn't pay a lot for it. Where did I get this one? Did I get this one? I think I got this one from Poshmark actually, but it could have been from one of the Facebook marketplace people. But anyway, I didn't pay a lot for it. I don't know how much I paid for that one. But that one's pretty cool because that one is definitely older and more special. One of the oldest pieces I have. So now we're getting into some other just like random stuff, I guess. And I don't know anything about these. And so this is like a beaded necklace, and it just closes like this. It's got some discoloration up here, and it's just a beaded. This is actually really pretty. I tried it on and I really liked it. I thought it was very beautiful. I have no idea what it's made of. It feels very lightweight, feels very plasticky, kind of like iridescent. I think it's vintage, obviously, because of the closure and stuff, and it feels really old. So it is vintage, but I don't think made of like super high quality materials or anything like that, but I actually really liked it. So I like this one. I tried it on and I thought it looked pretty and just like a nice casual, you know, necklace, and I'm gonna keep it and wear it. So I quite like that one. This here, I think I'm going to resell. This is a poodle. I think it's a 60s or 70s poodle jewelry holder, earring holder. It has the branding on the back, Torino. So it does have a maker's mark. It has got a little bit of damage there from the paint, whatever, coming off. But when I got this, I had got this from Facebook Marketplace, and it was actually full of earrings, but they weren't expensive earrings. They were just cheap, like Joe Fresh and stuff like that. So, but anyway, it's just like a standalone earring holder, but it is kind of cute. And there's a few different variations of this available. If you look up like poodle Torino earring holder, it's not worth a ton, but it's worth more than I paid for it. Especially that there's a little bit of damage there, but I wasn't sure. I thought, oh, is this like special? Is it super like unique and rare? But it's not rare, but it is, I guess they're kind of popular. So I don't know. So I will maybe do a little bit of research on this one and probably try to resell it because I am not particularly fond of it myself. So this will go in the resell pile along with those items. I'm trying to decide if I want to resell one of these as well. But maybe before I do that, I'm going to do some research on it just so I can see the value or if they're worth keeping at all. Okay. This here, I doubt this is worth much, but I don't know. It is an N, and it has little clear stones in it that look to be probably glued in. The back is also closed, and it does have a safety closure. So I have no idea what this is worth, but I can see like discoloration from some glue. So I think that this is glued in, and I don't think it's very special or worth very much. I would like to test it though and get it authenticated and make sure it's not anything precious, but I don't intend to keep it because I have no need for it. I was wondering if it was like maybe Nina Ricci or something like that because of the N, but I don't see any maker's marks or anything that would show that it's made of a precious metal. So yeah, and it doesn't look old. So anyway, this will probably be resold, but I am going to get at the very least, I'm going to get like a diamond tester, just like a cheap old, like a generic diamond tester, just to like some of these clear stones before I pass them on. And I would like to get things authenticated before I pass them on because it would be so sad if you were to get rid of something and find out it was worth quite a bit of money. This is kind of neat. Where did I find this one? I don't know, but anyways, it needs to be cleaned as well. It's a beautiful right-facing cameo with no real imperfections. It looks like a mold to me, so maybe resin or something. Needs to be cleaned. It is open, and you can see through it. And I think it's really pretty, and I really love the tone of the metal that they have here. Oh, sorry, it's not a brooch, it's a pendant. And I think it's beautiful. I love this one. I have no idea, like, age. I can't remember, where did I get this? This might have been a Facebook Marketplace item, or it might have been a Poshmark order. But I love it. I love that it's clear and see-through. And to me, it's just a little more interesting. And it's also like the way it's sat in there is not quite, you know, flush. I just think it's really interesting, and it does have a little bit of a discoloration there. That might be glue or it might be dirt. I'd have to shine it up and clean it up and see. But anyway, I think this is so pretty. It's one of my favorite finds. Oh, I have more brooches I didn't realize. So this is really beautiful. Unfortunately, it is missing a stone, This one was in a Facebook Marketplace purchase. So it's a really pretty gold toned with some really pretty little stones that are held in. Some of them are glued in, and the one in the center is held in by the claws. And unfortunately, like I said, it is missing a stone here. So that's too bad, but I'm sure I could replace it with something if I really wanted to. And then the back does have a safety closure, and there is no, I haven't really inspected it super closely, but I don't see any maker's marks or anything that tells what it's made of. Now that I'm looking at it, I actually saw a YouTube video that had these little holes were like that. The holes in the back, I wonder if that's because they want the light to shine through the gem, which might indicate that it's a little more special or like a better quality piece than something that didn't have the open holes in the back. I'm not sure. Anyway, I thought it was gorgeous, and I would like to clean it, and it's really too bad that it's missing that little stone there, but so pretty. It's such a shame that it's missing that one stone. This I have no idea. I don't know what this is. It's like it looks like a man's wedding band, but I don't know what it's made of, or it's obviously like quite a large ring, and it's really heavy, and I don't know what it's made of. So there's literally no markings anywhere. It doesn't say. There's no markings, there's no maker's mark. I can't see what it's made out of, but I would like to get it like authenticated and see what this is made of before I part ways with it, because maybe it is something valuable. I have no idea. So this is kind of like I need to appraise it and pass it on because I don't want it, I don't need it. I found a woman in a small town, and she had a whole box of jewelry she was just getting rid of, and I didn't know where it was from. She just had a whole box of random jewelry. A lot of it was cheap, plasticky, but some of it was stuff like this. And I bought the whole box from her for $45, including shipping. So the whole box was $25, and then it was $20 for shipping. And it was full of like weird things like this that I don't know. In fact, that might be where this came from, was that box. So there was some interesting things in it, but I need to figure out what that is. So this was also in that box, that mystery box that I ordered. And I think that's Mother Mary, and it's a hand-painted vintage Mother Mary brooch. And I don't think there are any maker's marks on the back. I don't know. It feels a little flimsy. The paint is not perfectly done. It does have imperfections. I don't know if this is worth anything. I have no idea. I don't know the age. I think it's just a vintage, like hand-painted Mother Mary brooch that I don't personally have any interest in this. Like for myself, I don't want to wear it or anything. And I don't particularly love how it looks, but I just thought it might be something interesting, so I kept it. Anything that was like very obviously cheap plastic, whatever, or like Walmart jewelry, I just donated straight away. But anything I wasn't sure about, like this kind of thing, I kept out for myself. You can, if you look really closely, you can see there's a little picture of Mother Mary in there. All right, this pair of earrings came from that mystery box that I ordered. I have no idea if they're worth anything. They're not really my style. They feel like real, like good quality metal or silver or whatever. Regular pierced earring. So they're nice. Like I said, not really my style. I don't see a maker's mark anywhere or anything like that. There's those. I don't think I'll keep them for myself. This is kind of an interesting brooch. I think it's part of like an airplane thing. I did a reverse Google search on this, and it brought up like matching sets of like aviation style. So I have no idea if it's like something that people would like get as gifts or something if they worked for like an aviation company or something like that. I have no idea. It doesn't feel super expensive. There's like a faux pearl in the middle and then rhinestones, and it does spin. Like the thing does spin. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? Like it's not my style. It's not something I would obviously wear, but I have no idea what it's made of or what it's for or like anything about this. But I'm not going to keep it for myself. I'm going to do some research and then resell it. This is a pair of earrings that I just thought were kind of interesting from that box. This was part of that mystery box as well. And they are like kind of old looking. They've got some interesting like metal detail on them. And these little stones that are just sat in there, glued in there. I don't think there's any marks on the back, any maker's mark or anything like that. They're just a basic, yeah. But they were kind of interesting. So yeah, these are not my style. They're not something I will keep for myself. I will resell these. All right, this was from the mystery box as well. This is a necklace, and it's quite a sparkly little necklace. And this is a nice quality chain, like a really nice quality shiny chain with a nice clasp on it. It doesn't have any maker's marks or any signs of what it's made of, but it's just like a pretty necklace, and it's quite shiny. So I don't know. Let's see if I can get it into focus for you guys. It does have couple little tiny clear stones. So I have no idea. It looked like it could either be nothing special at all or something nice. And it is a nice quality chain, and so I don't know. I'll probably not keep this, but I think I paid $5 for it. Or maybe it was part of the mystery box. I'm not sure. Did I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was part of the mystery box because I wouldn't have chosen this myself, like from a batch of things. So anyway, not going to keep it for myself. Going to try to do some authentication and then resell it. Now this one here is a faux pearl necklace. I think it's faux pearl anyway. I will, when I get my black light flashlight, I will shine it on and see if I can. I'm sure it's probably fake. It feels pretty cheap to me. It's got these little rhinestones in here. But it's pretty. It's definitely like my style of necklace. I will probably wash it up and keep it and wear it myself because I like it. I think it's very pretty. It's definitely my style. So whether or not it's anything of value or not, I'm going to probably still keep it, but it'll be cool still to shine a black light on there and see what happens to the pearls. Similarly, there's this little bracelet here. Now this has a bunch of little stones on it, and it has these interesting little metal bits between the pearls, and the pearls are, and it's got some weight to it as well. It's a heavier item, and there's nothing on it that has like a maker's mark or anything like that. But the pearls are not all the same size. They're not perfect, and it does have some weight. So I'm curious to see if this has anything of value on it. If those are real pearls, I'll keep it. I doubt they are. Now this here is a little more interesting. I don't know if this was part of that mystery box. Yeah, so a little tip that I got from a jeweler was that he said, if you think about it, if you had a real diamond, would you glue it to something? He said probably not. You would want it to have those little claw things to hold it in place. So I don't really know. Also the fact that like these are sort of imperfect looking, like they're not particularly bright white. It looks old to me, and it looks like it could be something interesting and special. It's heavy, so I would like to do a little research on this and get it authenticated. It's also very pretty. Like it's definitely my type of jewelry. So I'm gonna hold on to that and clean it up and authenticate it. So this here is a really, really pretty set. It is a pendant necklace, the petite point, or I'm not sure how you say it, petite point. Anyways, it's the little hand-stitched design, and it's very pretty, and I just think it's very beautiful. The back does not have a maker's mark. The woman said it was made for her, so I don't know if like someone just made it for her and it's super cheap or what, but it's really beautiful, and it came with 2 little matching earrings. So these are just the cutest little things, and imagine the detail that went into that little tiny flower. So these are just so pretty. So it's got 2 little earrings that are obviously not identical, and the necklace. I love this set. This is so pretty, and this is something I would wear myself anyway. Like this is exactly my style. I love it. It's so pretty. Just super dainty little earrings, and I love how like old and vintage and antique it looks. So this was a really good find. This is a pair of earrings, and I have no idea if these have any authentic value or not. They look like they could be valuable or they could be nothing. They are in some sort of a gold metal material. Those little clear stones are just glued in, and then the bigger purple stone on the front is held in by the claws, and the back is also open of the purple. The back is open for the purple stone, but not for the clear little stones, which leads me to believe that I don't think it is anyway. I don't think so. Anyways, I don't see a maker's mark anywhere, but maybe, just maybe, those are amethysts. Who knows? This was in the mystery box. So again, I got a whole bunch of items for literally $25 plus the shipping, and I would like to authenticate these. And I don't know, would it be like cubic zirconia and amethyst? I'm not sure, but they're very pretty, and anyway, they're nice. So I'm gonna get those authenticated, and if not, I'll probably keep them anyway because they're nice. Okay, this is just a chain of some sort. I don't know what this is made of. It's just some sort of chain. And it's got like, this is what the bottom looks like. I have no idea if this is just, this thing doesn't slide or anything like that. And then when you turn it around, it's like this. I have no idea what this is. It feels like it could just be like a silver chain, maybe just a silver chain. So if that's the case, then, you know, I guess it's worth whatever the weight in silver would be. It's not my style. It's not something I would wear, but I'm going to get it authenticated and then pass it on. Same goes for this, which is some sort of a golden chain. And again, there is no maker's mark, and there's no sign of 14 karat or 10 karat or anything like that. This is just a chain of some sort, a rope style necklace. That's what the detail looks like. It is shiny. It does have some weight to it. I have no idea if it's worth anything. I feel like, again, it could just be a gold chain, right? Which makes it more valuable than what I paid for it, because this was part of the mystery box as well. And I think that's, oh, there's a couple more items in here. Okay, so there's this pair of earrings, which these could literally just be from Walmart or Joe Fresh or something, I don't know. They're just a little pair of dangly earrings. These could be nothing. Those little stones are held in there by the claws, and there's like the longer bar, and it is closed. They're closed on the back, and there's no maker's mark anywhere and no sign of any precious. So yeah, I'm going to authenticate those little stones and then pass these on, because unless it's real, then I might shine it up and keep them and wear them. But this was part of the mystery box as well. So that would be very cool to find out that these are diamonds. Otherwise, I will be just probably donating them to a secondhand store or something. But that would be pretty cool to find out those were diamonds. So these I'm gonna keep near me and try to authenticate them. And then there's one more thing here. Oh yeah, this is so cute. So this was part of that mystery box as well. This is just a beautiful, really sweet little brooch. Just a tiny little thing. It does have the safety closure on the back. No maker's mark or anything like that. It is quite glistening, quite shiny. And that's what the beautiful little brooch, it's just pretty, you know? It's like a yellow with the really pretty red and blue flowers. It's like painted on or whatever, and it has some weight to it, and it's just really pretty. It's just like a really pretty little guy. So yeah, I thought that was cute. Reminds me of butter. Looks like butter to me. So that's something I would wear anyways. I don't know anything about it. I haven't had time to reverse Google search all of this stuff. And it'll be really fun once I get my black flashlight to shine it on the pearls. And it'll also be really fun once I get a diamond tester to test some of these things. All right, I just need a sip of coffee here. I feel like I need a lot of coffee today, and I'm kind of worried about my dog. He's very tired. He did do a lot of running around this morning, but I hope he's okay, because he just got over an intestinal infection, and he finished a course of antibiotics, actually 2 courses, but he's still like kind of tired and having like still a runny stool, so I hope he's okay. But anyway, I'm gonna go out and get him some probiotics today, and I'll cook him some homemade stew and stuff. But okay, let's go through the top part of the, what do I want to start with? Okay, let's start with, so this is quite a pretty piece. The woman, this was one of those women from Facebook Marketplace who just like came to my door with a bag of jewelry, literally, and let me just pick what I wanted. She said, this was the one who said some of it was hers, some of it was her grandmother's, some of it was gifted to her from children, some of it she found from antique shops. This one, and she's also the one I bought the jewelry box from. So this set here, it's these really beautiful earrings with these stunning green jewels. And there's also these little clear jewels as well that look like they're just glued in there. The backs are not open. Anyway, so it's a set of these matching earrings with this necklace. Really nice quality chain. And it does have a maker's mark on the, up here. And this says, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says Vendome or Vendome. It says Vendome, I don't know. So anyway, I looked it up, and apparently this is like a nice, like they make nice jewelry. I don't think they're real diamonds or whatever, but, and I wasn't able to find this exact item online. So I have no idea if it's worth anything, but it certainly is beautiful, isn't it? And it's nice quality. So I don't know if I would wear this for anything, but I would like to find out its exact value because I paid, I think, $10 for that set. And from what I found online, the Vendome or Vendome sets are more, they're worth more like $90 to $100, maybe more. Actually, I can't remember, but it's definitely worth more than what I paid. So that's a nice piece. What else here? Okay. This I love, and I want to get it authenticated. I have a couple really dainty, delicate little chains in there. Okay, so this is absolutely beautiful, and I'm hoping and praying that there is some real diamonds or real stones in here. And I think perhaps it could be, I don't know. So it's a beautiful pendant. This was one of the ones I bought from the girl who, from Facebook Marketplace, she just pulled up to my house and let me look through a bag and let me choose what I wanted. So again, the little stones are held in there nicely by the claws. They are not glued in, and the back is open. The backs for all the stones is completely open, which again leads me to think they want the light to shine through, which leads me to think they want the stones to be appreciated for their beauty. And then I thought I saw somewhere, so there is a teeny tiny little mark. It's very hard to see on here. I can't remember what it said. R&B 10K. So this says Canada R&B 10K. So this is made of 10 karat gold. The gold is. So I don't know if that's just the chain, but if it all came together and the chain itself is 10 karat gold, it makes me think that this is also real. And if that's the case, we have a whole bunch of little, I can't remember, baguette diamonds, I think is what they're called, and some sort of a beautiful blue stone. So this could be real, you guys. This could be real. And I paid, where did I get this one? I think I paid for this set $15. So it's got the necklace and it also has the earrings, matching earrings with some of these blue stones and the little, also little clear stones. I'm pretty sure these were a matching set. The woman had them all together like in her car, and they look like they're supposed to go together. So anyway, I bought this as a set. And I cannot wait to get my little tool and authenticate these, because this looks to be the most high quality, real, authentic thing that I have found so far. Very dainty little chain. There's nothing in here that says 10 karat, and there's no maker's mark in here, but it is on the, as I said, it is on the clasp. It's very hard to read, but it is there. So this could be worth a few $100s or maybe even more. I don't know. So this is very beautiful, and I would totally wear something like this anyway. Like, this is super pretty. So there's that. I'm gonna try to keep these like a little bit in a better place. This is a really interesting little one. So this was part of the woman from Facebook Marketplace who just showed up at my door with a bag of jewelry and let me choose. And this one as well just looked a little bit better quality to me. It's got a few different stones, again, that are held in there by the claws. They are not glued in. There's two tiny little clear stones that look like diamonds. And it is also open in the back. And it's on this really nice chain. And on the chain, there is a tiny little maker's mark on this chain. I'm just going to pause the video and see if I can read that. Okay, so on that tiny little, it's hard to see, but on that tiny little thing there, it says 925. So that's 925 silver. So it's a silver chain. And then here, you guys, you can see that there is a little piece of something gold in there. And then there's these orangish red stones. And on the very back here, it says 925 14 karat NO. I don't know if this is coming into focus. It says 925 14 karat NO. So something on this is 14 karat gold. I guess that little thing there maybe. And then it's 925 silver, which again, if the chain and the metal are high quality, it leads me to believe that perhaps those are also real stones. And that would make sense because they're tiny little clear gems. So they could be tiny little diamonds, and this would be red garnet, I think, is what I found with my Google search. And I don't know how old this is or anything, but I believe this to be a real diamond and maybe red garnet necklace. So again, I paid, how much did she charge me for this? $5, I think. And I think it's obviously worth a lot more than that. So just those two necklaces alone pay for, you know, everything here if they're authentic, which the chain for sure is made of gold. Okay, and then I have other stuff in here. This is kind of a really interesting and weird thing. I looked this up, and this is a Native American wedding band. And they're not worth a ton, but they are worth, I think I found it was worth like a couple $100 or something. There is no mark on it, but it is quite heavy. And it's just like this silver ring with these little turquoise and coral colored, triangles. And it's obviously like set in there, whatever it is. Anyways, I looked this up, and it's a Native American wedding band. So I have no idea how this woman came to have this in her box of stuff, but she did. And I think, you know, obviously oh, this was in the mystery box. This was in the mystery box. I wouldn't wear it myself. It's not really my style or my vibe, but this alone, if it's authentic silver and whatever, I think pays for the entire box, obviously, and then some. It's quite a heavy, I mean, it's a wedding band, right? Which makes me wonder, like, about this one. I have two large bands, like large rings. I don't know. This is like a man's band of some sort. I have no idea. And then this one. So anyway, I'm gonna authenticate those and pass them on. And okay, this here I paid $5 for, and this is, I saw as soon as I picked it up, it did have some marking on the clasp. And it says copyright Sarah Cove. So this is a Sarah Coventry bracelet. So it's a vintage Sarah Coventry bracelet. Just pretty, like simple. I actually think it might fit me. Okay, so it's a little big for me, but somebody out there would really like it. It's this gold tone bracelet. I'm gonna have to look it up, but yeah, as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, that looks kind of expensive. Not expensive, but like kind of nice quality. And then I saw the Sarah Coventry, so yeah. Just like I paid $5 for it, and it's definitely worth more than $5, right? So this I can resell very easily, clean it up and resell it. And then this, this one has me kind of like super, super excited. It is a dainty little necklace with what looks to be a pearl and a tiny little diamond. And I'm going to have to get this authenticated. The back is open, and on the, okay, and it's such a delicate chain. It was very tangled when I first got it. So on the little closure, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it does say RD 10K. So this is a 10 karat gold chain. And then on the back of here, it also says RD, it's hard to read, RD 10K, yeah. So this is gold, this is gold, and this is gold. And if these are gold, that leads me to think that perhaps that's a real diamond and a real pearl. And do you know how much I paid for this? I paid $5 for this. $5. Like, first of all, it jumped out at me because you guys know me, I love pearls. I am a pearly girly. I love pearls. Sorry guys, my card is full, so it keeps on stopping on me. But anyway, this jumped out at me because it was such a beautiful little, dainty little necklace, and I thought that is something I would wear. But the other thing is too, because it was so petite and so delicate looking, I thought that looks like something that could be authentic because it's not big and over the top and gaudy and loud, and just like the tiniest little stone there. So I do think, my hunch is that that is a real little diamond in there, and this is a real pearl. So a gold chain. So this, if it's authentic, I don't know how much it would be worth. I really don't know, but definitely more than I paid for it. I paid $5, and I think this is authentic. So I think this necklace alone would pay for like all the stuff I got from the mystery box and the Facebook Marketplace people, and that's pretty cool. Although I would keep this for myself because it's just so beautiful. It's a shame I don't have a matching set of earrings, but how the woman was like, I asked her, I said, how much do you want for that? She goes, oh, $5, she says. I was like, are you serious? Like, do people not check things? Like, she obviously didn't know where to look to like authenticate it. But anyway, so I have two for sure authentic pieces that are three chains that are gold and silver, and likely diamonds and pearls, which is very, very cool. And oh, this one here, this is so pretty. So this is a beautiful, dainty, delicate little chain. There is something on here. There is a little maker's mark or a little engraving of some sort on there, and I don't know what it says. I can't read that. Oh, GF, gold filled. There's a little, it's really hard to see, but there's a little mark on there, like a little slogan of some sort. And then it says GF, which I believe means gold filled. And then this is just a beautiful locket, a vintage locket with this very pretty, like reflective kind of material. I don't know what that is. This is so beautiful. This is me literally in a nutshell. This is exactly my type of thing. The back says with love 40. So I don't know if it was like a 40th anniversary wedding gift or something. And then when you open it up, it is a locket. So pretty. I wish there would have been a picture in there of some sort. Where did I see? I thought I saw GF on the locket too somewhere, but maybe not. Thought I had seen it. Oh, I do actually. It's hard to see, but you have to be very careful because right there, you guys, it says CM, what the heck does that say? I think it says CMC or CMG, something like that. GF shell, so gold filled shell. So this is gold filled. And I don't know anything about jewelry, so I don't know what that means. I don't know why they would fill something with gold, or I really don't know what the meaning of gold filled is. I know the difference between 10 karat, 14 karat, and 18 karat, and 24 karat. And I understand 24 karat means 24 parts out of 24 parts are gold. So that's like the purest gold you can get. Most delicate gold that's more malleable and easier to bend. And apparently gold is like very, very bendable, and it's very delicate, and you can like bend it with your own hands. That's why they mix it with other metals. This is gold filled, and it's just beautiful. So this is a really nice, authentic, high quality piece that I love. So this is the kind of thing that I'm kind of on the hunt for, you guys. I'm not looking to be a hoarder. I don't want, I have no desire to just collect like a bunch of stuff. Like, I don't care so much about, Sarah Coventry pieces or whatever, unless it was something that I really liked that was beautiful and, because it's good quality. It's well made, right? It's just not like precious. But yeah, I'm not really on a hunt to hoard things, but I love when I find something like this or like this that I have a hunch is real diamonds. That to me is very cool. And when it's something that I like and would wear myself, that makes it even more special. So you guys, that is all of my jewelry that I found this week. And like I said, most of it was from Facebook Marketplace. Just people trying to get rid of stuff, trying to downsize, don't really know what to do with it. It belonged to their mother, it belonged to their grandmother. I think a lot of people obviously don't know what they're selling because maybe they don't know what to look for, but I feel like I'm starting to get better at picking out good quality versus not so good quality things. And I honestly think like even some of the stuff that, for example, isn't, very popular, or some of the stuff that isn't maybe the most high quality kind of thing, if I could turn around and, sell this for $10 or $15, say $10, say I turned around and sold this for $10, that's $40 right there just in 4 brooches. And then I obviously have some real gold chains and probably some diamonds. And so all of this stuff here together, I would estimate is worth like $1,000. You know what I mean? Like, I think easily I could get $1,000 for all of this stuff, and I certainly didn't pay that much for it. So it's kind of cool, and maybe there's stuff here that I don't even know what I have, and maybe it's more valuable than what I think it is. And yeah, so I'm going to try to slow down a little bit though. I really want to invest in a kit to identify metals and stuff like that, and then just kind of pass on stuff that I'm not fond about, which is a lot of the stuff on that side, and then maybe a couple of these brooches I'll pass on. But yeah, for the most part, I kind of want things that are interesting, real and authentic and valuable, precious, and or things that I just really like the style of and would wear myself, even if they're not authentic or real or precious or whatever. So yeah, that is it. I'm really glad that I have this jewelry box because it's going to be a really nice place to keep some of these things. And I also ordered another Florentine style jewelry box from Poshmark that has like a really pretty picture on it, and it should be here pretty soon. It's coming in the mail from somewhere in Canada. And I also ordered like a bust style like necklace holder to display some of my necklaces on. But anyway, pretty cool. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing my little perfume haul. If you saw anything that jumped out at you, or you have any tips, or you were like, oh wow, did you know that this is that kind of thing, and you just want to tell me, or if anybody knows like how old some of these things are that are a little more interesting and unique, please feel free to write me on Instagram. Instagram is the best place to get a hold of me. I don't always see all of my comments on YouTube, and I would love to converse with you more on Instagram. Or if you see anything here that like grabs your attention and you would like it and you want it, definitely write me on Instagram. And yeah, that's everything for today. Have a nice day, guys.